Factory director's son dragged my drunk fiance into the supply warehouse. I pretended I didn't see anything. I just turned around and left. Last time, I screwed up my whole life by running in there and beating him up. They even set me up for stealing from the warehouse. When the warehouse manager showed up with the cops, my fiance ripped her own clothes on purpose. She started crying and told everyone she came to stop me from stealing, but I beat her up and assaulted her. Everyone thought I was garbage. I became a criminal. My fiance's parents couldn't take all the gossip, so they made me marry her. But that marriage, it was just the beginning of hell. She lived like a queen at home, but told everyone I was starving her. When she got pregnant, she slammed her belly into the table corner on purpose. Then she stood outside crying, saying I abused her and tried to kill our baby. My parents felt sorry for me. They borrowed money from everyone they knew to get her a job. But once she got that job, she framed my dad for stealing steel from the factory. 6 months after my dad went to prison, he died there from getting sick. My mom couldn't handle it and got really sick too. She died soon after. When that brick wall collapsed on me at the construction site, she didn't call for help. She picked up a brick and smashed it into my head. If you weren't such a busybody, Jeremy and I would have been together by now. We wouldn't have wasted all this time. My head was bleeding, and I was buried under all that rubble. When I opened my eyes again, I was standing at the warehouse entrance. Inside, I could hear my fiance's soft, flirty voice. I stood in the shadows. It was the middle of summer, but I was covered in cold sweat. Everything that happened before flashed through my mind. The depression and fear felt so real, but I held myself back from running in there and killing them both. I turned around and walked back to the employee cafeteria near the warehouse. The warehouse manager was throwing a party today. It should have been over by now, but he'd invited so many important people that he was pumped up, keeping everyone drinking late into the night. After I got back to the cafeteria, I sat down at the workers' table. As I lifted my glass, someone slapped me on the back. Why are you still drinking here? Your girl's running off with someone else. My childhood friend, Kevin Cooper, was standing behind me. He leaned in and whispered in my ear. He sounded pissed. I snorted and said without turning around, "Cut the crap. She's not my wife yet." I was afraid if I turned around, I'd reach out and strangle him. Last time, he stole my college spot. When he came home for winter break, he made sure to visit my house and show off. That always started huge fights between Carly White and me. Shane Carter, why would I marry trash like you? All you do is eat and sleep like a lazy pig. Before, I would have defended myself. Don't you know how my college spot got stolen? Oh my god, what a waste. Did you want me to tell everyone the factory director's son was harassing me? If I did that, both our families would be screwed. Just admit you're useless and can't even protect your woman. You're trash. You only blame me. I can't take this anymore. She'd even go outside, sit on the ground, and pull her hair. She'd cry and say I abused her. The neighbors would beat me up. They even dragged me to the local women's shelter and humiliated me in public. Later, I stopped defending myself. No matter how nasty she got, I just took it silently. When that brick wall knocked me down and I was dying, Kevin ran up in his fancy leather jacket and bell-bottoms to show off. That's when I realized he'd known all along that Carly and Jeremy were into each other. He sent me over there that day just to steal my college spot. I wasn't falling for his trap again. When Kevin saw I wasn't moving, he anxiously walked over and grabbed my arm. I saw some guy dragging Carly into the warehouse. If something happens to her, how are you going to explain it to her family? I pushed his hand away. Jeremy, our factory director Stanley Ziegler's son, said he'd take her home. What's the problem? You think he's gonna do something? I said it loud enough so the warehouse manager and the directors from nearby factories at the next table could hear. They looked over. What's going on over there? What about Mr. Ziegler's son? I stood up right away and said, annoyed, Mr. Wilson, Kevin's saying Jeremy's being a creep and trying to make a move on my fiancé. I think Jeremy's a good guy. He wouldn't do that. Stanley's friends jumped in too.